Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's time.
How's it going, guys? Zoro Fanboy 124 here on my second channel, Zoro Fanman 124, and I am here today to review the 2004 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And it's actually kind of interesting. And before I actually get into my review, I first watched the review before actually going to see the movie. From Merlin, 301 Merlin Boss, who's a great reviewer, obviously, and he was talking about the film with some other people right after they watched it. And they were obviously just not a big fan of this film. They just despised it. They didn't like it, and that kind of deterred me from actually going to the theaters to watch it. So I ended up, going the pirate route and torrenting the movie and watching it that way. So I just want to give some context to that before I actually get into the review. But I do want to start off by saying that I do not think this film is as bad as some other people are portraying it to be. I really don't. And I'm going to get into my reasons as to why I think that the film did a lot of good things. But before you kill me, okay, I'm going to talk about the things that kind of ruin this movie in a certain respect, or things that I didn't like about the movie or definitely could have been done better. And the first one I want to talk about is obvious. It's very obvious. It's obviously April O'Neil as Megan Fox as April O'Neil. Obviously, I don't think that was a great casting choice. I don't think that she fit the role really well. She's obviously not the greatest performance actress. She's just not. That's not what she is, And she wasn't even there for any particular fan service or to look good, because I feel like they didn't utilize her in that respect either. If you're not gonna have her be there to look good, then why are you having her there to begin with? I mean, there was one scene where her ass was hanging out to the car while she was trying to take a picture, and that was the only thing where they tried to make her look give her the sexy look. But besides that, she was basically relying on her acting performance to carry her through the film, and obviously that's not going to work. She's not a great actress, and I felt like the first 20 minutes of this film were just too focused on her. We want to see more turtles. The movie is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We don't want to see April O'Neil running around for 20 minutes trying to connect the Foot Clan with these vigilantes. Who are they? And her trying to explain all this when she obviously sounds insane to her boss. It was just kind of they were trying to make it funny, and I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. And just overall, when it came to her acting performance, obviously she's not a great actress. But then again, I came into the movie not expecting anything when it comes to Megan Fox. I feel like that was, without a doubt, probably one of the bigger faults of the movie was having Megan Fox in that role. I think that another actress could have definitely did a better job with that, if I'm being honest. The second thing that I want to talk about. Well, actually, let me expand on that. Not only her character, which was kind of underwhelming, but Will Arnett's character. I don't know how this film could have actually made Will Arnett not funny. They were trying to make him like a funny kind of goofy character. I don't know what they were trying to do with him. He was just there. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling Will Arnett's character, and I feel like he's a funny guy in real life, and he's done some great stuff. But in this movie, they just made him not funny. I don't know. That takes a lot of work to make Will Arnett not a funny person, and I feel like this movie just Will Arnett, I didn't care about him in any respect. In fact, all the human characters were just bland and boring and generic, and that includes the Saks CEO guy, whose name escapes me, but it doesn't really matter. He's not important. And that leads me to my second problem with this movie, and that is, without a doubt, the plot. It's just it's generic, it's bland, and it's a typical plot. It's just nothing special about the plot. It was very generic, very bland, and there was nothing really to speak about it. There are a lot of inconsistencies with the plot. Why not take Splinter rather? When Shredder beat his ass, he should have taken Splinter, because he has the mutagen inside of him, right? He has the mutagen inside of him. Why wouldn't they take Splinter? I don't understand that. They just left him there. It made no sense to me. He's the same as the Turtles. They have the mutagen, and they could have used him, but that's neither here nor there. And also, I do want to say, when it came to Shredder and his personality and his backstory, we didn't get anything, man. We really didn't get much from Shredder as far as a character is concerned. He was just a big bad guy to defeat, and we didn't learn his motivations for wanting to basically poison the city. We know that Sax's motivation was to get money in the end. That was his ultimate goal. but we don't know exactly what Shredder's motivations were for wanting to poison people, because Shredder's the boss, right? I can understand why Sax would want to, have it happen, but Shredder just wants to kill people. I just don't understand what Shredder's motivation was in this movie, and they could have used the 20 so minutes it took for the Turtles to actually show up, and we're watching April O'Neil do everything. Could have used some of that time to get some backstory, a little bit more time with the Turtles, or some backstory with Shredder and learn a little bit more about him. So that was definitely disappointing. The plot was just, like I said, inconsistent. There were some problems with the plot. But like I said before, I mean, I didn't go into this movie expecting some kind of complex, complex, convoluted plot. I mean, it's a Ninja Turtle movie. Are you expecting this to be some kind of mind-boggling, crazy plot? I don't know what people expected from this. Maybe my expectations were set so low based on the thoughts that other people had about this movie that it kind of like padded the blow of the genericness of the plot. But for me, I never expected a big, really a complex plot of this movie to begin with. I watched this movie, and this is where I'm going to go into the positives with this. What I wanted out of this movie was to see the Turtles be the Turtles. The movie is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I felt like if the movie could stay true to the Turtles, then they were doing their job. And I felt like this movie did a good job of basically portraying the Turtles. Now, some people make like little petty complaints like, oh, they look stupid. They're mutant turtles. What do you want them to look like supermodels? They sounded. Some people say they sounded like black, or I didn't get that feeling at all. You know what I'm saying? They were people or turtles rather, living underground with only the influence of seeing stuff from the outside, to really influence them. And they're teenagers, so I mean, I feel like their attitude and the way that they acted is completely consistent with the way that they've lived their lives. I don't see any problems with the way that the Turtles act. People were making just excuses and complaints for petty little things, just to look for problems, in my personal opinion. When it came to the Turtles, I felt like each and every one of them, from a personality standpoint, they fit what the Turtles were supposed to fit. In my opinion, I thought the Turtles were done really well in this movie. Michelangelo, he acted exactly how you want Michelangelo to act, just to a T. With the exception, I think he was the only one that I had a little bit of problems with, because him and April O'Neil flirting thing. Well, he was the only one flirting. Was kind of weird. I didn't really expect that from Mikey, but it was kind of endearing towards the end. I don't know why, but that was the only thing that kind of caught me off guard with the personality of the Turtles. Mike was a big perv. Besides that, I felt like Raphael was awesome in this movie. I am a Raphael fanboy. Maybe that kind of altered my opinion on things, but I am a big Raphael fanboy, and he's my favorite turtle, and he definitely shined in this movie. They did a great job with Raphael. That little speech he gave in the end about being brothers and stuff, and him not feeling worthy. That's why he's always talking about leaving. That was actually pretty deep, man. You know what I'm saying? That was good stuff. I really liked that. So I think Raphael had his great badass moments. He was portrayed really well in this movie, especially from a voice acting perspective. I think that all the voices were just excellent, really excellent. When it came to matching with the Turtles, Donatello, I think that he really shined more than I thought that he would shine in this movie. Yeah, he really did. I'm surprised. Donatello got some really cool shine. Like, he got his moments where he's going to be the computer guy, he's going to be the tech guy, he's going to do the things that he needs to do from that perspective. But not only that, but he had his badass moments too with his fucking extending power pole, man. He really, he did a great job, and I liked his personality as well. So Donatello was excellent. I mean, to a certain degree, Leonardo was a bit underwhelming. He's the leader, obviously. You want to see him, be the leader and be awesome. And he had his moments, don't get me wrong. But I feel like they could have done a little bit more with Leonardo, I guess. But from a personality standpoint, Leonardo was good. Leonardo did his thing. So, yeah. Overall, I thought the Turtles were really well done. Their personalities were good. They had the charming personalities. They had the personalities they fit. It was the spirit of the Ninja Turtles. I felt like I was actually watching the Turtles. So I think from that perspective, all I wanted from this movie, or all I expected from this movie, was to have the Turtles be true to themselves, and that's what happened, in my personal opinion. I think that definitely was what we got. And the action scenes in this movie were really well done, from what you expect a Michael Bay production to have. Although, like I said, he's a producer. He didn't direct this movie. I know a lot of people are up in arms. Michael Bay, he's a producer. And I feel like we did get a Michael Bay influence in some certain parts of the movie. But I think people just want to hate something just because of the name Michael Bay. They want to hate on this movie just because of the name attached to it. When I feel like that, they're giving unfair criticisms. There are things to criticize about this movie. Don't get me wrong. It's by leaps and bounds not a perfect film. Let's be honest. The plot is convoluted and ridiculous. Like I said, generic, and the characters for the human side were just bland and generic and uninteresting as well. And the plot twist of the sax guy being the villain was so obvious. I didn't even need to. It was so obvious. It was so obvious. But okay, let's move on to the Turtles. Like I said, the action scenes. Like I said, the action was really well done in this movie. I think after the 20-minute mark, we meet the Turtles, and leading up to the part where they capture, or not, they don't capture, but they take April O'Neil back to the sewers, and we're learning about her saving the Turtles, and everything after that point I felt like was really good, because it was mostly action packed. It was all about the Turtles. It was all about the brotherhood and everything, and I felt like from that point of the movie on, I thought we got a really good movie when it comes to just a Turtles movie. Everything before, it was mostly about April meeting with the Turtles and setting up shit. So it was kind of boring. It was kind of slow. Like I said, I just couldn't care less about the April stuff in the beginning of the movie. It's Megan Fox. What are you gonna expect? But everything after the part where April O'Neil's taken in the Foot Clan raid the sewers was good. Shredder in this movie, like I said, his backstory was kind of shitty. Well, there was no backstory. We know nothing about the character, which is a shame. Maybe they could have made the film a little bit longer. It was an hour and a half, I think. Could have made it a little longer to maybe give some Shredder some more, backstory. But then again, I don't know. But yeah, the Shredder, I think from a visual standpoint, a lot of people were complaining about Shredder's visuals. I didn't have a problem with it. Shredder was a badass in this movie despite his lack of personality. When it came to just holding shit down, Shredder held shit down, man. He beaten everyone's ass. He just put in work. He put in so much work. The only problem I have with Shredder is that for some reason, whenever he's about to defeat a turtle, or he was about to defeat Splinter, he would just walk away, just to finish him off. Fucking Shredder, do it! There were so many opportunities where he could have finished off a turtle, or he could have finished off Splinter. I think when he was fighting Raphael, when the turtles were still in containers, rather being contained, he could have actually just finished off Raphael. He could have done it if he really wanted to. But for some reason, he just walks away, which makes no sense. But, it is what it is. And there were opportunities when they're on top of the building where he could have just finished off the Turtles, and he just, walked away like a badass. But, despite all that, like I said, I like Shredder. A little, from, the way he was portrayed. He was a badass. He put in work. His armor was a bit over the top, I guess. But I didn't have too much of a problem with it. Maybe some people who are really die-hard nostalgia, Shredder has to look like this and be perfect. I can understand why you'd be mad. But for me, Shredder was fine. I didn't have a problem with that. But okay, let's talk about the CGI now in this movie. The CGI in this movie, I felt overall was well done. It was. I did have a little bit of problem. Splinter did look a little bit off. He was the only one with the CGI that it was just, I don't know, it wasn't perfect. It was not perfect. But when it came to the Turtles, I felt like the Turtles, visually, they looked good from a CGI perspective. Their appearance is ugly in the respect that they're not any supermodels, but they're mutant turtles. What the fuck do you expect them to look like? You expect them to look like fucking, I don't know, like Fabio or something? I'm confused what people expected from the Turtles look. If you remember the old damn Turtles movie, those were creepy-ass costumes, man. That's all I'm saying. That was ugly. That was fucking ugly as far as I'm concerned. The Turtles look fine. Okay, the Turtles, they looked fine. All right? I don't know what people complain about. Visually, like I said, the CGI was fine. Everything when it came to the appearance of the Turtles was good. So, the way I see this movie overall, I mean, you get a lot of Michael Bay influence in it. You get a lot of the pop culture references. They made like Batman and so many other references to things. I like those kinds of things, but I know people can really kind of not really be a fan of those. But overall, despite the influences, maybe that you might have gotten from Michael Bay and whatnot, like I said, the action was on point. The scene where they're sliding down the snowy hill was awesome. Really well done. Each of the turtles, I felt like did enough to get their own shine. Although we could have more time with the Turtles. Raphael put in work, man. It's my dude right there. It's my dude. I do want to say one thing though. I do want to say one thing, which really had me like, oh no, why, no, why did April fucking Neil have to be the one to finish off Shredder? Like, she had to be the one to put in the last kick to take down Shredder. Come on, really? Come on, that was the only thing that I was like, oh no, why do all these damn superhero movies have to have the heroine be the one to finish off the final villain? Was it Iron Man 3? Fucking, oh, that was terrible. No, I want to forget about that movie. But, yeah, dude, it was bad, it was bad. But, I definitely didn't like that. That was like, come on, let's have one of the Turtles finish them off, man. Terrible. I did find the movie kind of funny, actually. There were some funny moments when they're raiding the I think it was the building where they were trying to get to the top, where Shredder was, where they had all those foot soldiers, Foot Clan soldiers rather, sitting there while they're raiding, and this is like that 2-second, 3-second moment of silence, and then they just quickly close the door. I thought that was kind of funny, if I'm being honest. The elevator scene was actually kind of funny. I really enjoyed the elevator scene. I know some people will be like, oh, they're making the Turtles black. Just shut the fuck up, all right? That was funny, man. That was really good. That was really good stuff. And I like the scene where the Turtles get caught by Shredder when they're trying to sneak back into the sewers. Not Shredder, by Splinter rather, while they're trying to sneak back into the sewers, and then he's interrogating them, and he's like, teasing Mikey with the pizza, like, oh, it's got all these different kinds of cheeses. That was good. That was like what you would. That's nostalgic. That gave me a nostalgic feeling of the Turtles when from the old TV shows and the old movies. So, I felt like it had the charm, it had the comedic moments, it had the personalities down, in my opinion, perfectly. It really did. It gave Raphael shine, which I loved. And I feel like in a movie about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the thing that you have to get right, and that you have to focus on are the Turtles. My biggest problem with this movie is that I didn't always focus on the Turtles. It was more about, in the beginning, April and Neil. It shouldn't take 20 minutes for you to first see the Turtles, actually see the Turtles. That's my major problem. Although you got to admit, obviously Megan Fox is not a great actress. She did a really not a great job. She didn't do a good job. I mean, let's be honest here. That was ridiculous, and the plot was just really generic and bland. There was nothing special about the plot. So from a plot perspective, it wasn't a great movie. It really wasn't. We didn't get any motivations from the villain, Shredder, or why he's doing what he was doing, which was kind of weird. But so overall, if we're just talking about it from a movie perspective, not talking about it from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles perspective, just an overall movie perspective, in my scale from 1 to 10, 5 being average, 4 being below average, 6 being above average, 7 being good, 8 being very good, 9 being excellent, and 10 being perfect. If I had to give this movie a rating, just talking about it from an objective standpoint, and just from it being a movie that is just an overall movie, I have to give it just a 5. It's an average movie. It's an average movie. But if I'm talking about it from actually being a Turtles movie, it's a movie about the Ninja Turtles, right? It's a Ninja Turtle movie. I think it deserves a 6 out of 10. I think it is an above average movie. It has its good moments. I understand that the plot is ridiculous and it's just simple and generic. And the sax guy is he was so like, he's a good actor. That guy, I've seen him in other films, but like, you have a gun. At one point, he has a gun, and he could kill April O'Neil and Will Arnett's character, I forget his name. And he could just walk around and shoot them both, but instead he wastes his bullets trying to shoot the wall, and it makes no sense. There were some really stupid moments in this movie when it comes to that. So I can't give it any higher than a 6. But I found personal enjoyment out of this movie. I got the nostalgic Ninja Turtles feeling from it. I think it captured the essence of the Ninja Turtles, mostly. So from a Turtles perspective, I think that they did a great job. So for me, like I said, a 6 out of 10. If we're just judging it from being a movie, as a movie, it's a 5, I guess. It's an average film. It's nothing special. It's just there. But a 6, because I got personal enjoyment out of it. The Turtles were funny and engaging and charming. The human characters I can care less about. I'm not going to repeat myself. I've been going on for like 20 minutes. Holy shit. But that's my thoughts on the Ninja Turtles movie, guys. Don't try to kill me. This is my thoughts on the film. Like the video if you liked it. Leave some comments and your thoughts about the Ninja Turtle movie. And yeah, that's it from me today, guys. I'm Zoro Fanboy 124, and I'm out. Peace.